G'day, good morning, good afternoon. It's Roger Roadside here saying hello. Hello. Listen, it's only a very short one. Roger Roadside is on the road again. Just don't know how long on the road again. Making coffee and I love it with my friends. Gee, I can't help be on the road again. That was about 60% of the actual words. Listen. The title of today's video is How Many Bodies Under the Starmer Bus? I don't know if you think like me or perhaps you don't, but I feel like every week another Labour MP or politician just gets thrown underneath the Starmer bus as he grips on for dear life to his job that he's clearly unsuitable for, and he's just using countless MPs as a human shield in order for him to save the throne that he sits on, the throne of inadequacies. Look, that's the way I see it. I think this whole Mandelson situation really highlights that, and yet again more people were, and it's not just, parliamentary people, it's people like that Aussie fella. Seemed like a nice guy. He's a sir or a lord or something. I don't know what he was, but he was something. In the job of his dreams, and he's just been thrown under the bus. Sweeney, the list goes on. It seems like every week someone takes a bullet for Sir Keir Starmer, the original Dalek from Doctor Who. But I'm interested to get your thoughts. How many people exactly do you think are under there, and who do you think's been worse affected? And look, what's in it for those who are sitting under there? Those who have taken that bullet, those who have done what they can to ensure that he keeps that job or keeps that position. Surely it's just career sabotage or suicide, because with the growing disdain for Labour across the country, I just don't understand how anyone who enables this man to be in this job for longer than the next 10 minutes is someone who is, in my opinion, just going against the will of the country. Because, yes, you could say, but we're a democracy, and yes, they got voted in with a shed loads of votes, and they have so many seats, and we should honour that, and we should, there's a democratic policy that we have in place to safeguard from any flippancy. But do you know what? You look through any of the videos that I've released on here, and I've said the same sort of thing day in, day out. I do agree with democracy. I do agree with the fact that there should be time given for people to come in, and if there's obviously problems or things that happen that we're not going to like, that it's not like a football club whereby as soon as the GMs or the owners are unhappy, he can just fire him and get a new manager. I appreciate that that's not the world that we live in. However, when one of my biggest gripes and with Keir Starmer is just his inability to tell the truth. Now, I know that technically you probably can't call him a liar, because he's very smart with the manner in which that he doesn't tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. But at the end of the day, he came into this this position promising that taxes weren't going to be raised. They were raised. He promised that the winter allowance wasn't going to be taken away. It got taken away. He promised that farmers were going to be looked after. They had a tax levy and all this sort of stuff. Now, admittedly, some of those had U-turns and all sorts of stuff, but that was only after he chanced his arm. He promised that various cuts were going to be made to certain areas, like the benefit system. That didn't happen. As soon as he tried to do it, bang, he's gone. So there was a lot of instances where, he said that adults were finally going to be at the head of the table making the decisions. There wasn't going to be any dramas or anything like that. Stone the Flaming Crows. There's been that many bloody dramas over the last 12 to 18 months, however long it's been since it's felt like about 5 years. There's been that many bloody dramas in the LPC. It's done a hard being Snoop D or Double G, but I know some of them are. It's hardly a crime to say there's not going to be any dramas, and then suddenly there are. But I'm just tired of it. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of the fact that, he's those who I don't know how they do it, but those who do support him and support the position of power that they're in at the moment, I just sort of don't understand how they justify that in their head. Because look, when the last vote happened, what were the options? You can either turn left or you could turn right. We've been turning right for the last, 14 years, whatever it was, and now it was an opportunity to change that direction. In my opinion, and look, don't get me wrong, because I got sucked in as well. I voted for Labour in the last election, so. But what I would say is, what were my options? I felt like the current government at the time, the Conservatives, had been in the position far too long, that there hadn't been true signs of improvement in a variety of things that I think are important to the country. I didn't think that the NHS was improving. I didn't think the economy was improving. I didn't think that housing was improving. I didn't think that the immigration crisis was improving. I didn't think that the education system was improving. There were loads of things that I just felt were on a downward spiral for the last few years, and the only option I had in front of me was to turn left, was to vote for Labour. So you don't sit there and say, oh well, we had such an amazing overall win last time. Obviously the public love us and the public wanted us and this, that, and the other. Yeah, they wanted someone to come in and turn the ship around. They wanted someone to come in and govern the country for the people that are in the country, and perhaps are indigenous to the country, and put them first for a change. And look, that doesn't just mean throw out anyone who's not indigenous to the country. It just means have some sort of value for British culture and the British way and what made this country so great for so many years. Having an importance on the British workforce and the British people, as opposed to constantly siphoning out money to various things that don't necessarily impact us, but you're happy to give money away to that, or basically putting on a velvet red carpet out for anyone who wants to smuggle themselves into the country and put them up for room and board and food and trinkets and treats and this, that, and the other. It just doesn't seem logical that you would do that. But anyway, look, my point is, I feel as though there is several instances, several occasions, several situations whereby Keir Starmer, if running the country was like, I don't know, running a business that trades on the stock exchange, I think there would have been calls for his head to roll many months ago. But essentially what he's done is he's consistently put other people in between him and harm's way. I think the body count underneath the Starmer bus is about probably 7 or 8 people deep. But how long can he get away with it? That is the question. How long can Keir Starmer keep putting other people in the way of his inadequacies and inabilities to do the job. Get your comments down below. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Obviously, if you can like the video, that'd be great. If you can subscribe to the channel, that would be greater, because it really does help out. I was going to say help us out, but it's just me in a car. So, I don't know, what do you want me to do? But no, I appreciate you. Listen, thanks a lot for that, and make sure you get your comments below. Thank you very much for your support. This is Roger Roadside saying ciao for now. Ciao.